a giant potato in Idaho, or D, a pair of fuzzy dice in Las Vegas? All right. She is locked in. She knows. Whether her answer is right or wrong. If it's right, $1 million is automatically yours. If it's wrong, she has to convince one of you that she knows the answer. Answer the question.
The answer is a 10,000-gallon hat in Austin. I said I had a master's in geology, and that master's is actually from the University of Texas at Austin. I lived there for 3 years while I was in school and lived there for another year afterwards working. When you live in Austin, the catchphrase is, "Keep Austin weird." You may have heard it, and this is absolutely the kind of weird thing that Austin's known for.
They're still staring at you. This is like the biggest game of poker I've ever been involved in. Remember, this is your last chance at accuracy, and the most accurate one of you is going to end up in that spot. That could be you next, playing for the $1 million. So if you think she's telling the truth, lock in that you believe her. If you think she's trying to get away with an incorrect answer, lock in BS. The challengers have all locked in. Might as well rip the Band-Aid off really quickly. $1 million. Megan, did you get the correct answer?
I did live in Austin for 4 years. But that was bullshit.
The correct answer is a giant potato in Idaho.
Who knew?
So the key is, we are sitting on the precipice of $1 million. If all three of them have called bullshit, the most you can walk out of here with is $100,000. $900,000 less than the $1 million. Your fate, your future, is in the hands of Ishpal, Billy, Ashley. $1 million.
Whew.
You could have walked with $750,000. You seem emotional.
This is probably the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. And I'm so glad I went for it. Even if I didn't get the $1 million, I'm glad I went for it.
How will you feel if they called bullshit?
I'm still happy to walk with $100,000. That's a lot of money. And I'm glad I went for it. It's a bummer to watch a game show and you want that person to just go for it, and you know that they're nervous, but you're just rooting for them. And so I hope people are rooting for me to take that chance. It's easy to say when you're on your couch, go for it, go for it.
Everybody loves somebody who takes a chance.
That's right.
No risk, no reward.
That's right. I couldn't win $1 million if I didn't go for it.
Well, I will say, we asked you 10 questions. Half of them you got wrong.
That's right. These were tough trivia questions.
And we're talking about $1 million. All you need is one of them. If you see that thumbs up, that means you walk away with $1 million.
It's wild.
It is wild. For the $1 million, I'm gonna start with Ishbal.
I was really torn on this one, to be honest. You did that same thing with the well answer where you just gave something that was too convenient from your life, and I just didn't buy it. But at the same time, I could have sworn that I had heard that the 10,000-gallon hat was a thing you could stay in. So I believe you.
Boom! $1 million. That's all it takes. One person to believe your bullshit. $1 million. The very first time on Bullshit the Game Show. You are the biggest winner ever. You are a millionaire. And you played this game so solidly. It's so amazing to watch you. You were so stoic, and I know you were emotional. I know this meant everything to you. I know this changes your life. Talk to me. You're a millionaire.
This is crazy. I love trivia and I love game shows, and like, this is like the Super Bowl of trivia for me, and I never thought I'd be in this position, and I had waffled on whether or not to go for it, and I woke up this morning and said, if you get the chance, you gotta go for it.
$1 million.
Thank you.
I am so thrilled for you. I am so happy for you. Wait till your kids see this. The only problem you're going to have in life now is explaining to your kids why they shouldn't lie. Because lying just made you an absolute winner and millionaire right here on Bullshit the Game Show.
Oh my God, this is so crazy, you guys. I'm emotional because I love trivia and I'm nerdy and I love game shows, and I never thought that I get to put all those things that I love together and win $1 million. I have 2 kids, so college funds are ready to go. It's just such a stress relief. Like, this is life-changing money. And I just wanted to go for it. When I'm at home, I root for people, and I wanted people to root for me.
Our last contestant just won $1 million. That's right, $1 million. She was a geologist, and she rocked the game. See what I did there? Yeah. Anyway, the next person going for $1 million is Ashley.
Oh my God. Honestly, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I can't even lie about that. I just watched Megan win $1 million, so hoping for the best. I do improv for fun, and so you have to get up there and kind of just react to whatever's happening around you. So my strategy is to look them in the eyes and, be their friend and be a warm personality to them.
Go.
Trust me?
Let's get it.
I'm gonna try my best at the trivia, but I have no problem bullshitting if I have to.
Welcome here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell me more about yourself.
My name is Ashley. I am originally from Mansfield, Ohio.
Right.
And I'm a morning show radio producer.
I would imagine in radio, lying and bullshit is a big part of the, because you're putting on a show.
Yeah, especially as a producer, you have to do a lot of fact checking, and when you're on the air, you can't stop. So it's whatever you say, go.
So maybe that's what got you up here, because you were the most accurate. You were able to detect it.
Yeah.
But can you dish it?
Hey, we'll
That's
see.
going to be the thing to see. You want to meet the challengers
Yeah,
now?
let's do
Okay. Kira, tell me about yourself.
I'm originally from Florida. I'm one of 7, raised by a single mother.
Wow.
And I've bartended for the last 11, 12 years of my life in New York, Florida, and Los Angeles.
Wow.
Wow. Well, welcome here to Bullshit. Warren, tell me about yourself.
Hey, I'm Warren. I'm 33. I'm from North Carolina, live in Raleigh, and I'm a fraud investigator for a living.
A fraud investigator for a living? Good luck.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
Okay. And Ishbal, you get one more chance at getting into the hot seat next. All right, you ready to play?
Readier than ever.
Here we go. You are 10 questions away from $1 million.
Let's do it.
Ashley, the first question is,
than ever.
Here we go. You are 10 questions away from $1 million.
Let's do it.
Ashley, the first question is, to keep mosquitoes from harshing the Magic Kingdom's buzz, Walt Disney World is routinely spritzed with a light extract of what? A, boiled egg, B, balsamic vinegar, C, garlic, or D, jalapeno? She's locked in her choice. Tell them the answer.
Okay, so the answer is balsamic vinegar. I actually worked at Disney World for about 3.5 years. I have a tattoo of Disney, of Mickey Mouse's little head. And I know that at night they spray with balsamic vinegar.
Okay, so that's her answer. You guys heard it, you watched her. Is she lying, or is that the truth? And you're all locked in. Did you know the answer?
I did work at Disney World, but I was bullshitting.
Bullshitting. The actual answer is garlic. They spritz garlic all over the place?
I guess so.
Okay. One question, and you got
Right.
the first question wrong.
I know. And I was so happy to see Walt Disney World too. I was like, oh, I got this.
You only need one of them to believe you.
Yeah,
The
let's
tough
see.
thing is one is a lawyer, one is a fraud detector, and one is a bartender. They talk to people all the time. They hear bullshit all the time.
Yeah, they do.
They know what they're doing. If you believed her on the count of 3, raised her hand. Hopefully we could see one hand.
Let's hope.
1, 2, 3. Boom!
Thank you guys.
You got $1,000. You could lock in at $1,000 if you want to right now to guarantee that you don't go home with any less than $1,000. Or you could keep playing on and make that same.
Thank you guys.
You got $1,000. Or you could keep playing on.
Keep going for it.
Going for $10,000 or nothing. Here we go. $10,000. For $10,000, Ashley, here is your next question. When she didn't win an Oscar in 1986, who had her biscuit from the Academy Award luncheon bronzed as a memento? A, Julia Roberts, B, Oprah Winfrey, C, Dolly Parton, or D, Shirley MacLaine? She has locked in her answer. Tell them.
The answer is B, Oprah Winfrey. I actually did an entire book report or a personal report on Oprah Winfrey when I was young. And I know that she bronzed her biscuit, which sounds really dirty, but it was a big moment for her as a Black woman in news to be in such a high place. So she thought she needed something to take home.
Okay, there's her answer. Kira, what did you think and why?
I'm sorry, Ashley. I just don't believe it. When you stuttered on like the book report, person report,
Kira.
I don't really see Oprah bronzing her biscuit. That's an insane sentence I've never heard, and I would never associate it with Oprah Winfrey. So I just think that was like, you're just off. I'm sorry, I'm calling bullshit. I just don't.
Kira, will you still make me a drink after this, though?
Always.
Okay,
Always, girl.
thank you.
Always.
Ishpol,
Yes.
what did you think?
I thought that you're really lucky you're not in front of a jury. You were so nervous.
Ishpol,
Yes.
what did you think?
I thought that you're really lucky you're not in front of a jury. You were so nervous. Seems like she was grasping for straws. So I called bullshit.
Ashley, 2 people have already called you out on your bullshit. This is for $10,000 or nothing. Was that bullshit or was it the truth?
No, I was correct.
Boom! $10,000 is yours. Warren, she was correct, so it doesn't matter whether you believed it or not, but
I feel like a man on the island. I actually believe it.
that's why you are the fraud detective that you are.
It's not always fraud.
Wow.
$10,000 is yours. You've had 2 questions. One of them you've gotten correct.
Yeah.
You haven't used your lock yet.
Right.
You can go for $25,000. You can lock in. What do you want to do?
I want to keep going.
Gonna keep
Yeah,
going.
let's
No
keep
lock.
going.
$25,000. No lock. Here we go. Your question, Ashley, is what term refers to the string of printed characters commonly used in place of a naughty word? A, morpheme. B, apodosis. C, cataphora. Or D, grolix. In place of a naughty word. She put in her answer, and the answer is, go ahead.
The answer is D, grolix. I was in journalism class when I was in high school and early college. I was a journalism major at that time too, and the word is grolix. I just know that. That's something that you learn there.
So what do you think, challengers?
Ishpaul's staring me down.
You're a little hard to read. You're good at controlling your face, so I'm a little. And Warren's got one up on me, so I'm a little.
A little competition going on here.
I mean, I want to get in the hot seat, man. I didn't come here for nothing.
All right, lock in your decision. Did she give you the correct answer? Or was she trying to get away with BS? Ishpaul,
Yep.
tell me what you thought of her answer.
This one, I wasn't sure. I just feel like you being a journalism major is very convenient, but at the same time, you are a radio broadcaster. So now I'm second guessing what I thought, but I thought you were full of shit.
So Ishpaul thinks you were bullshitting. Did she sniff it out? Or were you telling the truth?
I was right. I was
right.
correct. I knew it.
All right.
Oh, you got it. You got the money.
Yeah.
$25,000. Warren and Kira were both accurate. The most accurate one of you is going to take that seat where you stand. All right. Ashley, you've got a big decision to make right now. $25,000, you have an opportunity. If you want to lock in, you can lock in, which means you won't leave with any less than $25,000. What do you want to do?
I think I would be mad at myself if I didn't just keep going for it.
Okay, she's going to go for it without a lock. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. For $50,000, here's the question. People are often surprised to learn that what masterpiece is only 9.5 inches high by 13 inches wide? A, Dali's The Persistence of Memory. B, Botticelli's The Birth of Venus. C, Wood's American Gothic. Or D, Klimt's The Kiss. Okay, you answered the question.
Yes.
You know, and only you know whether you're right or wrong. It's for them to find out. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the answer is C, it's American Gothic. I live in walking distance from the Columbus Museum of Art, and they're free on Sundays, so I frequented. They had a replica of this, and it was tiny. The answer is C.
Ishpaul, I'm going to start with you one more time.
I called bullshit again. I don't know. I just think there's no way that you know that.
There's no way. Somebody's got to know it.
That's fair. Also, I don't think American Gothic would be in a random museum in Ohio.
Really? The replica, I said.
Oh,
All right. She called bullshit.
Yeah.
What was it?
I was bullshitting.
thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God for bullshit, she said. All right. The actual answer is A, Dali's The Persistence of Memory. Good play on your part. That was accurate. So, Ashley, you chose not to lock in at $25,000. So you're playing for $50,000 or nothing. You just need one person to believe you.
Just one. I have a friend in Warren, I think.
But he is playing for
Yeah.
himself. This is not about making friends.
No, you're right. You're right.
And he is in the business of detecting
detecting
fraud.
fraud,
Your
yeah.
answer was fraudulent.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh,
believe
no.
he knew it? Let's see how good Warren is.
Well, you got me with the free on Sundays. I'm not gonna lie.
Got him.
You got me on free on Sundays.
Wow.
Free on Sundays, goddamn.
Wow.
Ashley's got herself $50,000. $50,000. It is, wow, that's a lot of money. You can lock it in, make that your safety net, or you can hold off. You want to play on?
You know what? I'll lock here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to lock.
I want to be safe.
So that means that Ashley can't leave tonight with any less than $50,000. Congratulations, Ashley.
Thank you. Wild.
Okay, here we go for $75,000. The next question is, a first in the history of Major League Baseball. On September 1st, 1971, what team fielded a lineup that consisted entirely of people of color? A, the St. Louis Cardinals, B, Pittsburgh Pirates, C, Detroit Tigers, or D, the New York Yankees? All right, she's locked in her answer. She knows whether she knows or she don't know. But do you know whether she knows or she don't know? You got to know whether she knows. If she knows and you don't know,
I'm lost.
so am I. Doesn't matter. Tell them your answer.
The answer is C, Detroit Tigers. I grew up 3 hours away from Detroit in Mansfield. I've been to Detroit a few times for concerts, but since I was in Mansfield, I was surrounded by a lot of people who didn't look like me. So I searched for pieces of history in surrounding cities, including Detroit. And I know the answer is C.
There is her answer. Does she know it? Is she lying? All right, Ashley, I'm gonna start with you. Go ahead, tell them the answer.
Ooh, I did grow up 3 hours from Detroit, but I was bullshitting.
The actual answer was B, Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yes.
But the key again is if one of these people believed you, you got $75,000. Kira, I'll start with you.
I mean, I don't know a lot about baseball, and it kind of sounded like what she was talking about made a little bit of sense. She's close to Detroit, but in the end, I hate to say it, but I love to do it. You're full of shit. This is bullshit. I don't believe that growing up near Detroit means that you know about the 1971 Detroit Tigers.
There's no stopping Kira. She says it's bullshit, you're full of shit.
Wow. I'm sorry.
So I'll go to the other end, Ishpal.
So I'll give you some credit. Your face is really hard to read.
Oh, thank you.
You keep it pretty
Maybe.
straight. No, it's a compliment for sure.
Oh, thank you.
I am capable of them. But I agree with Kira. I don't think living near Detroit means you know anything about baseball, and you don't strike me as a baseball fan.
Interesting.
I called bullshit. I didn't think you. I didn't hear
Bullshit.
you. Yeah.
Kira's called bullshit. Ishpal's called bullshit. Warren is the only chance you have left to stay in the game.
Wow.
If Warren has done his job like he does 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, detecting fraud, if he actually does that, you go.
I struck out, maybe.
I see what you did because of the baseball
yeah,
thing.
that's
I
what
see
you said,
that.
you said.
You don't really strike out because you would leave with $50,000.
That's true.
But
That's true.
you'd lose your chance to go all the way for $1 million. Warren, her future is in your hands.
And it's tough when it's at the hands of somebody who played baseball growing up.
Ooh.
So you might have got me if you said somebody who played for the Tigers.
Ooh.
So I call bullshit.
Bullshit, three bullshits, it was bullshit.
Well, thanks, guys.
No, thank you. You won $50,000.
Wow.
That's not a small amount of money.
No.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck in New York City.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for being here. Good night, Ashley.
Thank you.
All right, making their way to the hot seat for $1 million is Warren. Snap up here.
I'm a fraud detective, so I'm well acquainted with the art of bullshit. Now I'm in a hot seat. It's pretty much about staying cool, calm, and collected. I'm not giving any tells. I'm a good trivia player, but you gotta go with your gut.
Tell me more about yourself.
I'm 33. I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm a fraud investigator by trade. And I'm about to be a dad.
Wow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
First
you.
time?
Yes, first time.
Do you know what it is?
A boy, having a boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So some people like the surprise.
Oh, yeah. We're having a kid. As long as they're healthy, I'm happy.
Yeah. No, my daughter, when my daughter had her first kid, it was a surprise because we waited to find out who the father was. Okay. That's bullshit. We knew who the father was. It was one of three, and I knew which one it was. Okay. You're about to have a child. What would $1 million mean to you?
A lot of diapers. But honestly, meant something for education and something for my wife and I to take a nice trip.
Yeah, but this is a great starter for a brand new dad, a brand new family. $1 million would set you up and change your life. You want to meet the challengers?
Of course.
So do I. Kira, we met you last time, but tell me more about yourself.
I don't have a wife, and I'm not having a baby, so thanks for rubbing it in.
Sensing a little anger.
No!
No, it's okay.
I'm
It's
so
all right.
happy for you and your baby.
Bullshit. All right, Hannah,
Hi.
tell me about yourself.
Well, I do have a baby. He's 2 years old.
Awesome.
And I'm married. I own a business, studied geology, and then was a teacher. So I've done a lot of different career paths in my life.
Wow, that sounds interesting. Is it true? We don't know. We don't know if anything is true on this show. All right, Sam, tell me about yourself.
Hi, Howie. I grew up in a cult in Sheniko, Wisconsin. And
You
now
grew up in a what?
in a cult.
In a cult?
In a cult, yes, sir. But now I run the weirdest drag show in Detroit.
Wow, from a cult to drag. That's amazing.
I'm really excited to be here.
Okay, let's get ready for some bullshit. Here we go. Here's your question. Thanks to a robust product placement campaign, many Korean TV shows feature a person doing what? A, eating a Subway sandwich. B, shopping at IKEA. C, applying Old Spice deodorant. Or D, driving a Vespa scooter. All right, he's locked in his answer. Warren, go ahead.
D's the answer. I know Korea is not really like a big car culture type of country, so I know a lot of the way that they move around is not really by cars, so it's D.
All right, you heard his answer. And now you are locking in. Kira, I'll start with you.
I really am so happy for you and your baby. I don't want that to seem like I'm not. Yeah, Vespas are everywhere, but there's a lot of bikes and there's a lot of different kinds of transportation in Korea. So I just don't think Warren knows this, so I'm gonna call bullshit on
Was
him.
there anything about the way he answered that made it seem like bullshit besides the
He did
actual
take
fact?
a little while to answer. I was watching him, but it's the first question, so that might be his game.
All right, Warren. Were you just taking your time, or were you struggling to find the correct answer?
I was bullshitting. I was bullshitting.
The actual answer is A, eating a Subway sandwich. Okay, but that doesn't matter.
Right.
You bullshit, and you know this game.
Right.
She called you out on your bullshit.
She did.
There are 2 more people who are challenging you. Only one of them needs to believe you to move on. Sam, what did you think?
Okay, so I thought that the answer was weak. There were no references. It was very not factually based.
Okay.
However,
Oh,
I actually agreed. I thought the answer D was correct.
$1,000 is yours. Sam wasn't the only one. Hannah also believed you were telling the truth. Warren, you could lock in. If you lock in right now, you can't leave with any less than $1,000. If you don't use the lock now, you can use it later. What do you want to do?
I think I'll keep going.
Gonna keep going.
Keep going.
$10,000. Here you are, question 2, Warren. In 1978, 2 grave robbers stole Charlie Chaplin's corpse from a cemetery in Switzerland and did what with it? A, sent it up in a hot air balloon. B, reburied it in a cornfield. C, left it sitting in a movie theater. Or D, took it sleigh riding. Let's hear your answer, Warren.
Okay. C. I know Charlie Chaplin is a pretty big film star from early on, like the early 1900s. So that definitely seems like something two grave robbers would do. They would try to do something real cheeky, real, you know, I don't know. They were trying to be funny. So I went with C.
All right, you heard his answer. You watched how he told you the answer. Sam, I'll start with you because you were the one that got him to this level in the first place.
I am gonna call a big old pile of bullshit, baby. Come on, you can't say it seems like that's something they would do. Be convincing. Sell it to me. You are not giving it to me, baby.
I guess I wasn't. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
What, is he right?
No, he's right. I was bullshit.
You were bullshitting. The actual answer is rebury it in a cornfield, okay? So he called you out on your bullshit.
He did.
He told you why he wasn't buying it.
This is true.
If you should be lucky enough to move on, maybe he gave you some info to play a little better.
Maybe.
Well, you were bullshitting. He called the bullshit. He told you why it was bullshit. If Hannah and Kira both saw the same thing as Sam saw, you're gone.
That's true.
You didn't lock in. You're gone with nothing.
Nothing.
Hannah, what'd you
Okay.
think?
You have like the face of someone who I just want to like hug, and I think it is throwing me and making me very upset because I thought you were telling me the truth.
There you go. $10,000.
I thought you surprised yourself and got that answer right.
Kira also believed you. All right, he's worth $10,000 right now, and you haven't gotten one answer correct.
This is true.
You are on a bullshit streak.
I am.
And she wants to hug your face. $10,000 is yours. You can lock in now, or you can keep going. The next question is worth $25,000. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna give myself some security. I'm gonna go ahead and lock in.
Lock in. $10,000 is his, guaranteed. Warren, you can't leave with any less than $10,000 today. That is an amazing amount of money, especially for a guy who hasn't gotten one answer right.
Pretty good.
Yeah. For $25,000, your next question is, in the self-help classic, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, what is the first habit of highly effective people? A, be positive. B, be persistent. C, be proactive. Or D, be punctual. He has locked in his answer. Share your answer with your challengers.
It's something I try to live by all the time. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. So D's the answer.
If you're early, you're on time.
And if you're on time,
If
you're
you're
late.
on time, you're late.
right.
I like that. Words to live by. All right, you heard his answer. You watched the way he did it. I'll start with you, Kira.
Okay. I have also heard that phrase quite often, but you could say that about anything, like be positive, be proactive. I mean, any of these can have a special little phrase, but what I didn't hear from you is the 7 habits of highly effective people. This very well could be one of those. Whether it's the first, I don't think that you know that, so I call bullshit. I think it's a great thing to live by, but this is bullshit, I think.
Hannah, what'd you think?
Well, I started to read the question, think about the answer, and I realized I didn't know it either. So I looked at you, and your whole body language said you had no idea. And everything about you was like suddenly in motion, and you looked real stressed out. And the answer, I'm sorry, I think was bullshit.
I thought you wanted to hug my face, though.
I do still want to hug you, but you are
multiple
full
face to bullshit.
of bullshit. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. If I hug you, I'll just squeeze out all the bullshit. I'm worried.
Warren, were you bullshitting?
I was bullshitting. I had no idea.
You had no idea. The actual answer is to be proactive. All right, so you bullshitted every time.
I have.
You haven't given us one correct answer. If Sam calls bullshit, I guess you'll be happy you locked in at $10,000.
I'd be pretty damn happy.
But
about
if
it.
Sam believed your bullshit, then you're moving on
Okay.
to $50,000. Okay?
Yeah.
Sam, what did you think of his answer? Did you believe him, or was he bullshitting? Warren, you bullshitted every time.
I have.
You haven't given us one correct answer. This question is worth $25,000. Two of your challengers have accurately called bullshit. If Sam calls BS, you go home with $10,000. But if Sam believed you, $25,000 is yours.
So, Warren, when I read the answer, I was thinking the exact same thing as you. If you are on time, you're late. If you're early, you're on time. Again, super huggable face, baby on the way. I would love to believe you. But unfortunately, in this scenario, I am calling bullshit!
I am so sorry. You got caught on your bullshit, but you're not walking out of here empty-handed or pocketed or walleted.
I'm not.
You have $10,000. New baby on the way, a huggable face.
Huggable face.
And you know something? You're a great guy.
Thank you. With a baby on the way, $10,000 is the nice little cushion for when little guy comes around and he's happy. He's really, really excited.
$10,000 Warren just won. Can one of you make it all the way to $1 million? We're about to find out. You know which one of you is doing that? The most accurate. You know who the most accurate one is? Sam.
I am so excited to play bullshit. I was so worried I was not gonna make it into the hot seat.
Oh my God.
Ow! I hid the fact that I was queer for 15 years in a cult. Okay, I think that bullshitting a couple people, stand in front of me on some trivia, which I am very good at, by the way, is gonna be a breeze.
Wow, you are so subtle.
I put the B in subtle. The challengers have no idea what's going to hit them. Hurricane Sam is coming to play.
Tell me about yourself, Sam.
Well, I grew up in a cult in Shaniqua, Wisconsin, and now I live in Detroit. And I work in logistics during the day and run Detroit's weirdest drag show at night.
I feel like I just fast-forwarded through the weirdest documentary I've ever heard about. Tell me something, Sam. If you were lucky enough to walk out of here with $1 million, what would that mean to you?
It would mean the world. My little baby dog, Chuck, needs a surgery for his throat, and it's been really hard for me seeing everything he's going through, so it means I could save my dog.
But you can probably save your dog for less than $1 million.
Yeah, well then maybe I'll take a trip to the dentist for the first time in years.
You haven't been to a dentist.
In years, Howie. Do you understand the society we live in?
Not so much. All right, you want to meet your challengers?
I would love to.
Okay, Sally, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm a mental health counselor from Seattle, Washington. And
Can you hear me?
Friday night, I host a trivia night.
What do you guys?
Look out.
What do you guys
Hannah,
can
we've
hear
talked
you
to you
guys.
before. Let's
Perfectly fine.
learn a little more.
I'm back, and I bet you didn't know this, but I was also born and raised in Wisconsin.
No way.
Though not in a cult. Sorry.
And Ciara, you're new to the game.
I am.
Tell me about yourself.
This is a small world because I also grew up in Wisconsin, not in a cult.
Come on, Dairy Queens, come through.
Wow.
Now I live in LA and I've done a variety of jobs. I work as a writing assistant and script coordinator, but I've also worked at a Ren Fair, at Disneyland, and I stream on Twitch.
Well, there you go. You're a gamer.
I am,
Well,
yeah.
this is the ultimate game. All right. Are you ready to play some bullshit, Sam?
I think so, let's do it.
Wow. You know what that scream means? You're ready to go. right, Sam, for $1,000, your first question tonight is: during his 40-year rule of France, King Charles VI forbade people from coming near him for what reason? A, he had acute halitosis. B, he feared aliens were in his court. C, he didn't have a nose. D, he thought he was made of glass. All right, Sam has answered the question, and he has been notified whether his answer is right or wrong. Sam, tell them about your answer.
I was a very food-motivated child, and my mom was a translator. So if I wanted to eat when I was little, I had to speak French. This led to a lifelong journey of taking French in school. So of course, for one of my reports, I knew about King Charles VI, who thought he was made of glass. So my answer is D, Howie.
All right. The only way you got fed was in French?
Ouais.
Oui.
Ouais.
Where?
Ouais.
Where?
You're really colloquial, you're cute.
Challengers, lock in. Does he know what he's talking about? Is this a lie? Sally, what'd you think?
You're the most delightful person I've ever met in real life.
I'm
I
America's
know.
sweetheart.
But when the question came up, his eyes looked a little scared, like he was going back to the cult.
Wow, Sally.
And he was pausing and talking with his hands.
Those were your tells.
Yep, I think that you're bullshitting, buddy. I'm gonna say it.
Okay.
Hannah, what did you think of his answer?
I also thought it was bullshit.
Bullshit.
And here's why. Okay, all right, I know, Sam. It felt to me like you were getting a little red, a little flustered. I liked your story, but I just don't believe it.
Baby, it's not red, I'm just juicy.
Ciara?
Yeah, you mentioned the fear in his eyes. They did mention halitosis, and you haven't been to the dentist in a while, so maybe that's what caused your fear. But I thought that you kind of had a very roundabout way of coming to your answer. You mentioned eating, and then French, and then the lifelong lesson of French. You could have just started in with, I've taken French my whole life, so I know this answer. It was a little roundabout, so I'm calling bullshit.
All right, all three of you have called bullshit. You know how this game goes. If it is bullshit, and you've all three called bullshit, he's going home with nada. Tell him.
Y'all are wrong! What? Oh, he thought he was made of glass, y'all! What? Come for me, lady! All right. This is not a game. It is a game.
Yes.
Oh my God.
You didn't see that coming, did you?
This time.
Okay. All three of you called bullshit. All three of you were wrong.
Maybe you should start believing me, Howie.
Maybe. All right, he's got $1,000. I have a lock. You could lock it in. What do you want to do?
I think we go unlocked.
He is unlocked.
Unlocked.
Unlocked and unhinged. Here we go. For $10,000. To stop a baby from climbing out of bed, Dr. Spock recommended doing what to their crib? A, turning it upside down. B, slathering it with Vaseline. C, wrapping it in a badminton net. Or D, putting it in a closet. If you didn't know the question and you read all the answers, that sounds like a fun date. All right, he answered the question.
Sure did.
He knows now, and only you know whether you're right or wrong. Tell them the answer.
Okay, y'all. So, in the 1950s, when Dr. Spock was rising to prominence, Vaseline was also rising to prominence. So, I went with the answer B, slathering the baby's crib with Vaseline.
All right. Ciara, what'd you think?
You said I went with B, not the answer is B. That feels a little unconfident. I think you're bullshitting.
Interesting choice.
All right, Hannah.
I have to agree. I feel like that was total bullshit because the last story Like, you were super involved in your own personal part of the experience. In this, I was like, how does he know anything about Dr. Spock or who he is? I don't believe it.
Really? Oh, here we go again. 2 of your challengers have already called BS. Sam, tell them about your answer.
Oh, it was absolute bullshit. I had no idea what was going on. I'm just like, ooh, Vaseline.
The truth, everybody knows. You have to wrap a crib in a badminton net.
Apparently.
All right, you were bullshitting. Ciara said you were bullshitting. Hannah said you were bullshitting. Last time, all 3 of them said you were bullshitting. If Sally calls bullshit, you're gone.
Yeah.
With nothing.
Out.
How do you feel about your chances right now?
I feel like Sally is gonna hopefully have some solidarity.
That's not how this game works.
I know it's not how this game
She
works.
wants $1 million. She
know
wants
she
to get in the
does.
seat. Sally, what did you think of his answer?
You know what? I thought it was fascinating.
Can you believe him?
I believed him.
Wow, $10,000.
Proud of you. Proud of you.
$10,000 is yours.
Yep.
You can lock it in now, or you can keep going and go for $25,000.
I'm gonna go for 25K. I'm feeling good.
Sam is feeling good. We've had 2 questions. 1 correct, 1 wrong. It doesn't matter. Still in the game, going for $25,000. Sally, you know now you were not the most accurate.
I do know that.
And those 2 are tied. Let's see who moves out in front. Here is your next question. $25,000 in the 2020 film Tenet. Secret agents repeatedly used which of these phrases as a passcode to establish trust with new contacts? A, time is a gathering storm. B, why should life all labor be? C, we live in a twilight world. Or D, sometimes the song sings itself. Right, the answer is locked in. Tell them the answer.
So, Tenet, fabulous Christopher Nolan film that I got dragged to on a very bad date. I answered C, we live in a twilight world. I would like to live in a twilight world and, you know, make a little zhuzh with Edward Cullen or one of the others in the family, but it was also a very popular phrase in the film.
So, he answered a question, but was he bullshitting? Or does he know what he's talking about? Sally helped you last time.
Yeah?
Sally, are you gonna help him again? What'd you think?
You know, I believe that if you had seen Tenet, it would have been on a bad date, but I don't think that you did that. I don't think you would have gone on a date with anybody who would have made you do this.
Okay.
So I do believe you. Thought it was bullshit.
Bullshit.
Okay.
She called bullshit.
It's fine. I mean,
Why is it
there's-
fine? Tell her why it's fine. She called bullshit.
The correct answer was C, we live in a twilight world.
What?
I'm a Twilight girl living in a Twilight world, baby.
All right, $25,000 is his.
I'm getting wrecked.
You called bullshit. Sierra also called bullshit. But Hannah believed you, Sam. $25,000. You have not used your lock yet. You can use it now, or we can keep going.
Let's lock down. Let's pay for Chuck surgery.
Chuck surgery, $25,000. Guaranteed the puppy will be able to sing again. All right, and now for $50,000, your 4th question is: a popular tourist draw at Montana's Glacier National Park since the 1930s, a red jammer is a type of what? A, aquatic bird, B, tour bus, C, hot spring, or D, a barbecue sandwich? Okay, he locked in his answer. Tell us your answer.
So I worked in Montana, and everyone told us you have to go and get a red jammer. It is a delicious barbecue sandwich. My answer is D.
Okay, you've all locked in. I'll just go to you. Were you telling the truth, or were you bullshitting?
I'm bullshitting.
You're bullshitting. The actual answer is B, tour bus. So just by show of hands, Did anybody believe him?
Thank God.
$50,000 is on the board. $50,000 is yours. You could take it and go right now, guaranteed, or you can go on and play for $75,000, one step closer to $1 million. But if you play on and you bullshit and they catch you in your bullshit, all three of them, the most you can leave with is $25,000. So what are you gonna do?
Oh, I gotta go for the 75K.
Okay, he's going for the 75K. He's faced 4 questions, and he's got half of them wrong. And he's still going for $75,000. The question is, with his father in prison, 12-year-old Charles Dickens dropped out of school and worked 10-hour shifts at a factory that made what? A, shoe polish, B, charcoal bricks, C, blocks of ice, or D, canned sardines? Okay, let's listen to his answer.
So growing up, I loved Charles Dickens. He was a favorite of mine. I wanted to know everything. Truly, no, Great Expectations is one of my all-time favorites. But I know that he wrote a lot about young boys working in these types of factories. They are often very dirty. They are, in fact, B, charcoal bricks.
Sally, what did you think?
I don't know anymore, man. I had to go with my gut. I like the reasoning. He did write Great Expectations. That's true about all the boys, but I thought that he was bullshitting.
Sam, tell Sally if she's right this time.
You were right this time, baby.
The correct answer was shoe polish.
Finally, I'm so proud of you.
Okay, so he was bullshitting. You got it wrong. If the other two thought it was bullshit, you're going away. You just need one person to believe you.
I know.
I'm just gonna go down the line, okay? Hannah, I'll never forget, Hannah looked at you and you didn't even hear the answer. You didn't believe, what don't you believe? That he reads? You didn't believe he liked Charles Dickens?
I do believe that he reads. I just don't believe that it's Charles Dickens. As a young person, that you were just absorbed in the world of Charles Dickens.
I literally was, though.
But then he took me on a journey, okay? So
Yeah.
at first I was like, you're lying. And then I was like, wait a second, you're not lying about the Charles Dickens thing. And then I was like, wait, did you just lie your way into the correct answer? And so here I am on the other side saying it was right, even though it wasn't.
Boom, the money is yours.
Here I am.
He was bullshitting. Isn't that amazing? You're worth $75,000 right now in this game, and out of 5 questions, you've got 3 of them wrong.
Yeah.
Is this not the best game in the world?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
All right. So here's what I will tell you. You could take the $75,000 right now. You're locked in at $25,000. I have one more lock. You can use that second and final lock on the $100,000. But if you get called out on bullshit, the most you can go home with is $25,000. What do you want to do?
Well, Howie, we are already at a point where I make more than what I make in a year. Late-stage capitalism is a nightmare.
He speaks the truth on that one.
Yes, absolutely.
That's true. Yeah.
That being said, let's go for 100 days, baby!
All right, buddy. We're going for $100,000. The next question is, a rare achievement in soccer, an unassisted corner kick that bends into the goal is called what in Spanish? A, gol inverso. B, gol fantástico. C, gol olímpico. Or D, gol Crespo.
I'm all locked in, baby.
Okay, he is locked in. And now I need you to answer the question.
So my answer is C, Gol Olímpico. I went to Mexico City with my best friend Caitlin a few years ago and met a lovely, lovely boy named Pablo, who was a huge soccer fan. We had a torrid affair for a few days, and I learned what a Gol Olímpico is.
You have a story for everything.
I really do. That's the whole gig. That's the goosh. That's the zhuzh.
All right. Well, I don't know if that's the answer. I don't even know if there's somebody named Pablo that exists that knows him.
His cheekbones were supposed to cut the diamonds for my ring.
Okay. Sierra, what did you think?
I love that story, but I'm calling bullshit.
Wow.
I think if you don't like sports, you don't retain sports knowledge.
I don't like sports, Sierra, but I do like athletes.
That's fair enough.
Okay, Hannah.
Okay, do I believe that you've been with someone named Pablo? Yes. Do I believe that you enjoyed his company? Yes. Do I believe that you asked him about himself? No. I'm gonna go ahead and say that one was bullshit.
Hannah!
You just threw so much shade.
Girl!
All right. I'm just gonna ask Sally.
Did you have a good time with Pablo?
Oh, the
Yeah?
best.
Yeah. During your tour affairs, do you normally talk about soccer goals?
Well, if it's germane to the role play.
Were you the goalie?
Oh no, honey, I'm a forward.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I hear there's a shortage of those.
All right, what did you call?
I said you're bullshitting, baby. I'm
So
sorry.
they all call it bullshit. If you were wrong about your answer and that was bullshit, I'm about to say goodbye. But tell us what your answer was.
So, y'all, I was right and you were wrong. There ain't no bullshit.
$100,000.
No way you knew that answer.
Honey, I did know the answer.
It was correct.
Now I have 100K.
You know what, Hannah, I gotta explain to you. Once he knows, you gotta stop calling bullshit.
I understand.
All right, $100,000. I'm offering you a second lock.
I'm absolutely going to use that second lock.
Okay, you
Holly,
can't
thank
leave with any less than $100,000. The next question is worth $250,000, Sam. Tell me what $250,000 means to you.
It means that you can make it rain on me later, Howie.
I feel so uncomfortable right now. The question, $250,000. Though Dolly the sheep got all the attention, the very first animal to be cloned was actually a what? A roundworm, B, a tadpole, C, a jellyfish, or D, a fruit fly? Okay, he locked in his answer. Tell your challengers your answer.
So, the biology program that I grew up with in the cult was not the best. At one point, they did tell me that kangaroos laid eggs. I am not even kidding. I got in an argument with the teacher over it. However, I did receive much better science education after that, where I learned that roundworms are one of the simplest forms of life and therefore incredibly easy to clone. So my answer is A, roundworms.
Okay. You had an argument with somebody about kangaroo eggs?
I did. He was a disgraced cardiologist.
I have so many questions that have nothing to do with this show. Ciara, what did you think?
I think you're bullshitting. I don't have a good read on you.
You're just
either.
confused.
You're all giving up, man.
Yeah, at this point it's 50-50, my dude.
Anna, what did you think?
I like your story, but I didn't feel anything about where it came from afterwards. Like, how long was the cult? When did you actually experience this? So
Totally.
it felt to me like it was a tag on, so I'm gonna say bullshit.
Okay.
Before I go to Sally, I will go to you. Tell us about your answer.
Oh, it was absolutely bullshit. I thought roundworm was like a good guess, though.
Tadpole would be a good guess because it would be correct.
Simple, Howie.
All right. Bullshit was called by Ciara. Bullshit was called by Hannah. It actually was bullshit. So Sally is the only one that can keep you in the game. $250,000 are on the line. That's serious, serious money.
Sally,
If
sweet.
Sally calls bullshit, you're going home. If Sally believed you, you, young man, have $250,000.
Sally, please believe me.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Sally.
so honey, I'm a therapist. I went to a lot of biology type of school. Nematodes, which are roundworms, are
She could be bullshitting. Do you really give a shit what a nematode is?
I do.
Okay,
Yes,
go
they were
ahead.
in SpongeBob.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they are.
And they are one of the simplest forms of life. So, girl, I believed you. That's a lot of dog sweaters.
$250,000.
Hyperventilated.
It's okay.
Right now, you can leave with $250,000, or you can go for $500,000. If you don't do well with a $500,000 question, if you don't know the answer, you bullshit the answer, you're called out on bullshit, the most you can leave with is $100,000. Less than a quarter of that $500,000. What do you want to do?
Well, call me a biscuit, because the rest is gravy. Let's go for it.
It's gonna be on your gravestone.
Put it on my tombstone, baby.
All right, for $500,000, here is the question. Which of these raucous behaviors is encouraged in the German pre-wedding tradition known as Polterabend? A, guzzling beer, B, telling dirty jokes, C, throwing bread, or D, smashing plates? I did attend Heidi Klum's Polterabend. I didn't go to the main ceremony, though. All right, you locked in? This is for $500,000. Tell them your answer.
Okay, so my answer for this is C. I did learn German growing up. I did not like German, but I do remember polter as in poltergeist, throwing, abend like about, so C, throwing bread.
Okay, you heard his answer. Does he know what he's talking about? Is this a lie? It's up to you guys to click in whether you believed him or not. Okay, the challengers have all locked in. I'm gonna start with you, Sam. Was your answer correct?
No, no, it was not. It was some bullshit.
So the correct answer is D, smashing plates.
Yeah, throwing bread, close enough.
No, not close enough.
Maybe for them it was.
You just need one of them to believe you.
I know, just one.
One person has to buy your bullshit for $500,000. Ciara,
Your lies are stacking up on each other. You said you took French, and now suddenly you also took German?
Girl, I speak 4 languages.
Oh, sure. You didn't know this one, though. Bullshit.
she doesn't only call bullshit on your answers, she calls bullshit on your education, bullshit on your history.
These two, Hannah and Sarah, are tearing me apart.
Remember, this is for $500,000.
I know.
One of them has to believe you for $500,000. Hannah,
Unluckily for you, I played a German beer wench on a cruise ship, so I know for a fact that you were wrong. And I'm sorry. It's bullshit, baby.
No.
this is a huge swing right now, Sally. There has been kind of a game between you two. And the point of the matter is, you are now going for $500,000. If she believed you, that's a huge amount of money. If she calls you out on your bullshit, you don't get $500,000. You get $100,000. That's a huge swing. It's a difference of $400,000. It is all up to Sally. Sally, the pressure's on.
As a fellow gay, I also have a sickly little dog. And I have so much love for yours, and I hope he does amazing. But I lived in Germany for 5 years. know it was bullshit, and I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
okay. It's okay. I hate you all. Let me go home to my dog.
You have $100,000.
I do. That's super exciting.
Isn't that super exciting? It's amazing. You're not a loser, you're a winner, and you are a great bullshitter.
Thank you.
That's the highest compliment you can get on this game.
I appreciate it.
Keep on bullshitting, Sam.
Thank you.
I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sam. Good night.
Bye. Ow, ow, ow.